The king of the cowboys, Roy Rogers, brought to you by Quaker Oats, the giant of the cereals.
The giant of the cereals is Quaker Oats. The giant of the cereals is Quaker Oats.
Delicious, nutritious, makes you feel ambitious.
The giant of the cereals is Quaker Oats.
Out of the West and into your home, riding the range of mystery and adventure, blazing the trail of Western story and song. Foy Willing and the Riders of the Purple Sage, that teller of tall tales, Gabby Hayes, the Queen of the West, Dale Evans, and in person, the King of the Cowboys himself, Roy Rogers.
Well, howdy, folks. This is Roy Rogers. If you buckaroos like excitement, you've come to the right place to get it, because something mighty exciting happened down our way, and we're going to tell you about it right now. My good old pal Gabby Hayes will start the telling, won't you, Pappy?
Sure will, son. Buckaroos, get you some bear grease and plaster down your hair right now, because if you don't, it'll be standing on end before we finish this story. We call it Ghost Town, men. I guess you know about that there ghost town near Paradise Valley. It was a mining community once, but when the mines played out, everybody moved away, and now nothing is there, except a few weather-beaten buildings standing around. Well, a couple days ago, my pal Roy and me rode into Mineral City and wanted to buy some supplies for Roy's double-R bar ranch.
Oh, easy, Trigger. Pappy will tie up here. You start buying the supplies while I hunt the sheriff.
You better let me see to the sheriff, son. I know how to handle matters of law.
All I want done is a report made that somebody stole the yearling from our herd and left the money out on the porch to pay for it.
Yes, just think.
Now, wait a minute. And when it comes to buying supplies, well, you're such a sharp bargainer, nobody dare cheat you.
yeah, of course. You're right, son. I better buy the supplies. You see, I'm real cagey, and you get trimmed down like a 25-cent haircut.
Howdy, Roy, Gabby.
Hi, Dale. Hey, why didn't you say you were coming to town this morning, Dale?
Well, I might as well have stayed home for all the good it's done me.
I'll go start dickering, son.
Right, Pappy. What do you mean, Dale?
Well, I came in with one of my riders, Steve Hamilton, to get some groceries for the Circle E, but the general store doesn't seem to have any.
No groceries? How come?
Somebody broke into the store last night, took half the merchandise, and left money to pay for it on the counter.
Left money?
Yes, sir.
Dale, that's the third time something like this has happened in Paradise Valley.
Miss Dale, drop your eyes and turn your back.
Well, Gabby.
What's the matter?
Steve Hamilton's coming down the street dressed in a molasses barrel and waving a $20 bill in his teeth.
He's what?
Well, now calm down.
He got almost to the blacksmith, and somebody yanked him from his horse, pulled off his shirt and Levi's and his boots and hat, and then gave him a $20 bill and rode off. Mr. Hawkins, he supplied the molasses barrel.
Now, why would anyone do such a thing to Steve?
Dale, some dude may think he's having a lot of fun taking our cattle and groceries and ripping the clothes off the men.
Varmint.
But it's no fun for us, and we'd better put a stop to the whole thing right now.
Steve's walking. He's holding the sticky molasses barrel up with one hand and leading his horse with the t'other.
Gabby, bring him around to the back entrance of the dry goods store. Dale and I will meet him there with some new clothes.
Sure thing, Roy.
We'll find out what these hombres look like and ride out after them. This business has gone past funny stage.
The odd part is, I didn't see the men, Roy.
Well, you must have, Steve.
But if they jumped...
I was headed for the blacksmith shop, walking my horse because he'd thrown a shoe, when an old man stopped me to ask if I knew where I could buy a good second-hand watch.
A real old fella?
Yeah. And while I was trying to answer him, somebody slipped up from behind, pulled me off my horse, slapped the blindfold on me, and took my clothes.
You didn't see him at all?
There were two of them. And I think I'd recognize their voices, but I don't know anything more.
Two besides the old man?
Yeah.
What was the old fella like, Steve?
Oh, I guess he could be called a desert rat, Gaddy.
Uh-huh.
Steve, you go ahead and get your horse shod. We'll circle around a little and see if we can't pick up that trail of those hombres.
All right, Roy. If you need help, call me.
Come on, Gabby. Dale, we'll stop over at the sheriff's office first thing and report this to him.
Just a second, son.
What's the trouble?
Well, you aiming to track down the old feller, too?
The old fella could be working in cahoots with the others, Roy.
Yeah, I suppose. Hey, what made you ask about him, Gabby?
Well, Dale, I got to tell you and Roy something confidential.
You can trust me, Gabby.
Well, you know how every family's got one member who don't turn out just right. Sort of a wild hair.
Sure.
One of my family. Cousin, Clackety Hayes.
Now, wait a minute, Gabby. What are you talking about?
I'm making a confession, you young whippersnapper. Clackety's been living out there in that ghost town near Broken Arrow for 7-8 years. He's a desert rat. Son, I hope you ain't going to throw me off the place because I'm kinfolk to Clackety. You and me's all...
When I throw you off of the place, Pappy, I'll throw myself off, too.
Roy, instead of reporting this to the sheriff, why don't we ride out to the ghost town first and have a talk with Clackety?
I'm for that, Dale.
Sure appreciate it.
Myself, I think it's a couple of dudes acting cute, so they can brag about putting something over on us folks out here in the West.
I hope so.
I'd like to kind of rough them up a little, show them that it isn't. Dale, ever notice where the ghost town has been built?
You mean the way it's walled in by mountains?
It's right down in a sort of a nest. And the only way of getting to it is that narrow trail. Hey, somebody's coming through the pass from the ghost town.
Sure enough.
Keep out of sight. Is that Clackety?
Nope.
He's coming from the ghost town. Dale, I wonder if you'd do guard duty while Gabby and I are in there.
Why, sure, Roy. If you think...
We don't know quite what we're going to run into.
If you signal, I'll ride for town, Roy.
That's it. I know you're anxious to get back to your ranch, so if we don't signal within a few minutes, you go ahead. Maybe you can catch up with Steve before he leaves.
Sure.
Come on, Gabby. Let's find out what kind of people have moved into Ghost Town. Well, now to see what's here besides empty buildings.
Awful still, ain't it?
Yeah, no sign of life at all. Where does Clackety live?
Shack just ahead.
You wait here for us, figure.
What's first, son?
Hey, the door of the old meeting house here. Looks as if it's been disturbed lately. See how the dirt's been pushed away from the sill?
Yep, sure has.
Let's take a look, just to make sure. Hold it. Oh, it's all right. Come on. Nobody's here.
Scary, ain't it? An empty building. Look, there's the groceries that were stolen.
Yeah. It took more than 1 or 2 men to carry all these away, Gabby. Must be quite a population in our ghost town. What are these things?
Clothes of some sort.
Prison uniforms. That's what they are. See here, numbers stenciled across the top? These are uniforms convicts wear in the state penitentiary.
No, Pierce Craggety's got himself in bad company, don't it, John?
Well, hey, there was a break at the penitentiary across the state line about a month ago. 8 convicts got out. Never did hear whether they caught them or not.
Maybe we'd better...
They might be holed up here, Gabby. That'd explain why they're stealing stuff, especially food and clothing. They'd need eats, and they'd have to get rid of their prison uniforms.
Son, through the back window.
What? Horses. That means we're not alone. If they had left, they'd have ridden their horses out. Pappy, come on. We're hightailing for the sheriff's office.
All right, reach for the skies. Both of you. We'll teach you to come snooping around our layout.
Let's rush them, Gabby.
They got guns.
We can't let them get free.
We got the old guy. Help like to the young one. Grab these stick handles. You got them. You'll need help to fight.
That'll take care of him for now. Yeah, Blackie, get some rope. Tie him up and throw him in that empty shack. We'll decide what to do with them after we find out who's responsible for letting them get through the pass.
When we pitched into them hombres, Roy and me had no idea how many of them there was. They come at us from every crack. And I gotta confess, if it was me, I'd have jumped on my horse and rid out of there. But not my partner, Roy. They was bad men, and he wasn't going to let them get away if he could help it. They whipped us that first round, but if you think that's the end of this story, you got another thing coming. You listen and see right after we have a little meeting on a subject that's next to Roy's heart.
The giant of the cereal is Quaker Oats. The giant of the cereal is Quaker Oats.
Delicious, nutritious, makes you feel ambitious.
The giant of the cereal is Quaker Oats.
Say, what's your biggest ambition? Everybody's got a yen to be a big shot in some line or other. Then get started on good breakfast of Quaker Oats, because Quaker Oats helps grow the stars of the future. Yes, doctors say the more often youngsters eat a good oatmeal breakfast, the better they grow. That's because a recent survey shows only one school child in 5 gets the kind of a breakfast he should have. There's more growth, more endurance for you ambitious youngsters in nourishing oatmeal than any other whole grain cereal. Order delicious Quaker Oats from your grocer tomorrow. Still less than a penny a serving.
Delicious, nutritious, makes you feel ambitious.
The giant of the cereal is Quaker Oats.
When things started disappearing from Paradise Valley, Roy and me got on the trail of the varmints who was taking them. We figured my cousin Crackety Hayes might have something to do with it. So we headed for the ghost town where Crackety lived. But there, instead of Crackety, we found a whole herd of escaped convicts. They jumped Roy and me and whipped us to a frazzle. Fact is, I don't remember nothing more till I heard Roy calling my name and...
Debbie, are you all right?
I don't know, son.
Not too loud. They got a guard outside. And don't try to move. We're tied hand and foot.
Laying here on the floor. Son, what in
Debbie,
blazes?
I want you to listen. Just listen. We guessed right. Those hombres are the escaped convicts. And we got to work fast if we intend to beat them. I didn't hear everything, but I heard enough to know that they intend to hide here until the hunt for them dies down.
So bad.
They've been stealing stuff because they're afraid to come out in the open. And I guess they figured as long as they left money for what they took, we wouldn't trail them.
I ain't worrying so much about getting them as I am about us staying alive.
Yeah. Well, I believe we can prevent them from doing anything to us, at least for a while, by pretending the law is on our trail, too.
Pretending we're bad men? You and me?
Yeah.
Suppose Crackety should come home and see us. Crackety's my cousin. He's bound to show he knows me.
Quiet, somebody outside.
Don't take any chances, boys.
If they come in, let me do the talking.
Go on ahead, Blackie. I'll need help in getting rid of them, even if they are tied.
I reckon we owe you fellas an apology, mister.
What's that?
We wouldn't have jumped you except we had you figured for sheriff's men out to trap us. We've always used this ghost town as a hideout. And we thought this time the sheriff's men might be waiting for us.
You said hideout. What are you hiding from?
I doubt if I'll answer that, mister. Come to think of it, we don't know for sure you're not sheriff's men. And I don't aim to be tricked into anything.
I kind of like the way he talks, boys. Smart. Maybe there are kind. Don't be too sure, Spike. If they are like us, there might be a lot of help, especially in getting around this territory.
I don't know if we want to be of help to you.
Yeah, they probably do know the territory. They probably belong to one of them ranches around here, and if we let them go, they'll head for the sheriff or something.
Let who go? You're not letting anybody go. We're staying here. We need this ghost town as much as you do, and we're staying. Do you understand that?
Now, what do you think now, boys? I'm kind of inclined to go easy on them. Spike.
What?
Oh, Ed's back. Come on in, Ed. Yeah, I brought Clackety in from town. Say, who's this?
Crackety, son. We're in for it now.
All right, now we'll find out whether or not these two belong around here. Clackety, you know everybody in this country. I want you to take a look at those men on the floor.
Is that now, fellas?
Ever see him before, Clackety? Maybe on one of the ranches near here?
No, sir. I don't believe it is.
Well, that satisfies me. Cut the rope. You're not letting them go, are you, Spike? Of course I'm not letting them go. But they look like they're our kind, so let's make them comfortable. We'll still keep a guard on the door, but we'll postpone what we were going to do to them until we get proof of who they are and why they came here.
Getting dark outside.
Yeah.
Can't figure that Clackety. Looking me straight in the eye and saying he never seen me afore.
This sitting here is getting on my nerves, Pappy.
Mine, too.
I keep worrying about Dale. She was supposed to head back to her ranch if we didn't signal. But I'm afraid she may check up and find we aren't home. Gabby, if she takes a notion to ride here, none of us will have a chance.
Nope.
Including her.
Oh, better.
Claggett.
Claggett, is that you?
Yeah. This is that